Hello everyone. Hola everyone. My name is Yasmin Tez and welcome to my podcast series. Thank you for joining me on the Viudas and Vibin, a podcast series. So I thought about starting this podcast series in hopes of creating conversation, getting out, talking about important topics, and socializing, just bringing guests that further want to create a better world and more good into the world. VLS Environment was basically created to create spaces to talk about important topics, express meaningful conversations around social justice issues, and general everyday conversations that are important. The mission is to, vibe and hold a platform of conversations to inform, educate, and learn from while holding spaces of informational knowledge, awareness, and the importance of speaking up for what one believes in. This series invites those to continue to seek change in their communities with individuals who are passionate about using their skills to contribute to the greater good of humanity. A podcast series. That being said, I want this podcast to be able to vibe out with y'all as I welcome guests to talk real life important issues as Generation C needs to continue to do the long line of fighting for a better future for all and dismantling systematic racial issues, coming up with new terms that are including communities and identities, etc. Will also be a space to express, talk about the media, randomness, and ways that power of the youth generation has the tool of social media and sharing online with your online platforms, your applications that you have on your phone. And so we'll go ahead and introduce myself a little more. I'm Jasmine, like the flower, or the princess, or the rice. But yeah, I wanted to start this podcast series because I love to talk. I I love to talk. And so to a little bit more about myself, I really enjoy, I really like to talk and I really have a passion for uh, doing what I can with what I have and trying to continue to use my own skills to further help create change, whether that be at an education institute or community service. I'm very grateful that since a young age I've been involved with educational resources that I have been involved in. I've gotten one-on-one mentoring, internships, etc. And I understand because of that it's important to have access. It's important for students to have access to those types of resources, or in general, for people to have access to those things. And so I'm very passionate. I last summer in 2019, I went on a social justice study abroad, a course where it was in Ferrara, Italia, and it was social justice based. And I feel like my passion for that kind of with internet, social media kind of like grew more. But yeah, since a young age, I've always liked to use technology, whether that be I'm editing photos on my phone or editing, um, just outlets are really exciting and fun. Nelson Mandela's quote is education is the most powerful tool to change the world. And you can use to change the world. And I think that's very important because I think it's important for all people to have access to education, whether that be in the United States or in South Africa or in Asia or anywhere. I think education in Mexico. Um, I think it's important that understand the benefits of education resources and how that could serve for an individual or a student. And so, yeah, as these series go, I will invite people and I will ask them to introduce themselves a little more, what they're involved in or what they want to talk about, have them say a fun fact about themselves. So I think to introduce myself, a fun fact about me is that I have dyed my hair about 50 times. Um, I first dyed my hair when I was in middle school, and then throughout high school, and then throughout college. I'm still in college right now. I really like to dye my hair, and I think it's just a form of expression. It's art. And so that's a fun fact about me. And so, yeah, a fun fact. I will also ask my guests to share a quote that they like and why they like that quote. And so I will share with you all one of my all-time favorite quotes is which was said by Paul Walker, mostly known for his Fast and Furious series. All that really matters is that the people you love are happy and healthy, and everything else is just sprinkles on top of a sundae. And I really like that quote because family, la familia is todo. I've always been passionate about family, and I think understanding that your family and your loved ones are very like just them being healthy and alive. That's what more could you ask? It's a great quote, and yeah. But yeah, some of my passions include talking, writing, drawing, eating, sleeping, working out, lifting weights, reading, um, creating edits. But yeah, um, I also enjoy just being able to listen to music and make playlists. With this series, I really hope to continue to inform, educate, and invite other guests that are really passionate about the outlets that they're involved in, whether that be social justice or higher ed, or just being involved in the community, and yeah, for a better future. Everyone has to kind of take part in that, and like understanding that with empathy that is people also have their own skills and their own passion. I think it's very important, um and so this is why I started this podcast series. And yeah, I hope that you all continue to listen to these podcast series as I just vibe out, talk about randomness at times. But yeah, my main goal is to continue to speak on those that want a greater good for of the humanity through this podcast series. I really hope that you all stay tuned and listen, and feel free to share, or feel free to take notes, or um, feel free to express or further create meaningful conversations as conversations are taking part, as we will talk about important things like education and social justice work, etc. Really like if you all continue to listen to this podcast series. And yeah, I would like to thank you all. You are all appreciated. This podcast series, I think, with like the internet, I saw an interview with Pharrell, and like, how this generation as a collective, how we can continue to do so. And this generation is growing up with phones in their face and iPods, and in the United States that it's common to have like Chromebooks for elementary school kids, or etc. And so it's kind of, this generation is growing up with technology, and how can we further create using these tools, utilizing these tools for a better future for all. It's understanding that sometimes we need to have these bitter truths of history and understanding, and how are we learning, how are students learning, how are elementary school kids learning about recycling habits in elementary school. How are we learning about climate change or global warming? How are we learning about social justice issues? How are we contributing to uh, global warming, etc.? And so I hope that you all continue to listen to this podcast series. But yeah, thank you so much.